6:19 Storm Tracker weather for tonight. Still a chance of scattered showers. It's going to be cool. 43 for tomorrow. Cloudy, cooler, scattered light showers still possible on the high of 61. 66 now, 700 WLW. Ed and Trace.
I like this kind of stuff.
We have talked to this. This is good.
He's good.
Gerald, welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Gerald Celente, welcome back to the program. We were just talking about, we talked to you, I believe, right after the first of the year, as we usually do, talking about trends for the new year. Here we are. Now we're into the second quarter. What are we seeing for the rest of the year? Just off the top of your head.
Let me just add something.
Tracy, you want to
no, just the whole economic, because you're predicting an economic collapse. When do you think that's going to happen, Joe?
Well, I would. I'm going to say by the second quarter, the way things are going. You look at today. The numbers came out for GDP. They were expecting about 1.8% growth among the top economists. It came in at 0.1. There's no growth. And yes, it was been a bad winter, and that definitely did affect things. But we have to understand what's going on here. And that is, as everyone knows, interest rates are near zero. So in the old days, like when I was a kid, people used to put money away for savings, and they got more money back than when they had it in the bank.
Yeah.
Now you get nothing.
Right.
Virtually nothing. 0.04%. So what I'm saying is it's this cheap money that's fueling the markets.
Right. So wait a minute. Sorry for interrupting. So you're talking about hyperinflation?
Yes and no, because what happens is the currency, it's more of a currency devaluation than a hyperinflation. The result is the same. You need more to buy something. But it's different than a hyperinflation where the prices, like down in Venezuela and Argentina, you're looking 30, 50% inflation. But what's happening is your value of your money is the currency is being devalued by all of this cheap money. So now today the Fed announced they're going to cut back another $10 billion a month in buying up mortgage-backed securities and treasuries. So what does that mean? You're going to start seeing interest rates go up. When interest rates go up, the economy goes down. You look at the last numbers that came out for new mortgage applications. It was at 14-year lows. That's because the mortgage rate went up 100 basis points from the very lows. So what I'm saying is when interest rates go up, this economy goes down. It's only been supported by these record low interest rates.
But, Joe, let me correct you on something, because we've had you on a couple times. First of all, I love your work. But I got to be honest here now. We had you on 2013, and you were talking about an economic collapse.
Yes, and the reason what happens is they come up with these schemes undreamed of. You don't know that they're going to make up a thing called quantitative easing and dump all this dough in. You go back. Who would have there's no capitalism in this country. Call it what it is. And you heard the words come out of Henry Paulson's mouth, the Treasury Secretary of the Bush. Too big to fail. What are you talking about, too big to fail? Your station doesn't make it. My business doesn't make it. Jack, you're out of business. No. We're going to bail out the big guys. Here's the plan. So we don't know that these things are going to happen. So we're looking at it as metrics the way they stand. Here, you know what they're going to do in the European Central Bank? They're coming up with negative interest rates.
But, Joe, what do you do? Okay, so there's an economic collapse. Do you buy gold? Do you move to Puerto Rico? Do you invest in strip bars? What the heck are you supposed to do?
Strip bars.
Yeah, there you go.
They're always in demand, aren't they?
There's always business
Bingo.
for that. For me, I don't give financial advice.
Yeah.
You go back to in the Trends Journal, it's all there. What I was doing, I was buying real estate when the interest rates were very low. I got one locked in at 2.85 for 15 years. But I'm buying pre-Revolutionary War buildings here in Kingston. The other one is I buy gold. And here's the deal with gold. Right now, demand for physical gold is at all-time highs. China has now become the biggest buyer of gold beyond India. And then you have the paper markets. And I say, now you could say this is a conspiracy theory. No, in the sense that the markets are rigged. There's that book out, we've been writing about this for years, about how the stock market's rigged with this high-frequency trading, algorithms, et cetera. Right. You have that guy Jim Cramer on CNBC. He's on the Yahoo whatever it is.
Well, Gerald, you know what? That was the thing that was on 60 Minutes a few weeks back, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you know the markets are rigged. You know the LIBOR rate. That's the interest rates. Mm-hmm. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a fact. They caught them rigging the markets at a tune of $700 trillion. It's rigged. We know that the Forex, that's the currency markets are traded each day, $5.3 trillion a day. They're rigged. So what I'm saying is they're keeping the price of gold down so that they can keep these interest rates at all-time lows to keep the Ponzi scheme going. So that's why the hardest thing in trend forecasting is timing. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes, and there are the wild cards. But here's the deal. It's like what you said to one of the callers. Do you ever eat good food? Guess what? If you eat a lot of crap all the time, and you smoke and you drink too much, Jack, you're dead. So what we're saying is the same thing to this economy. They're feeding it too much cheap crap, and at some time it's going to crap out.
As far as politics, do you see any wars on the horizon? What's going to happen in Russia?
Yeah, how's the Russia thing going to play out?
Again, you look back at the last Trends Journal, the winter edition, that we had the front cover was Ukraine, and we said that there would be a civil war there. This is when it just broke out. What people need to get in their heads is you don't fight the Russians. I mean, after all, if Napoleon couldn't pull it off, if Hitler couldn't pull it off, you think Obama, Hollande, Cameron are going to pull it off? These are the Russians. They'll eat sunflower seeds until the last person is dead, and they'll fight you. You don't start a war with the Russians. And again, here's what I suggest everyone do to keep an open mind. I don't tell anybody what to believe. The motto of the Trends Journal is think for yourself. DrPaulCraigRoberts.org. Paul Craig Roberts, not doctor, just put PaulCraigRoberts.org. He was the Assistant Treasury Secretary under Reagan. He writes for us, but he has his own website. He has been on top of the Ukraine crisis since the beginning. This thing was fomented by the United States. There's the audio tapes and the videotapes of our Assistant Secretary of State, Victoria Nuland, December 13, 2013, Not Ancient History in Washington at the National Press Club, saying how Ukraine is European. I didn't know that. I thought half it was Russian. No. It's European, and they should follow the path set forth by the International Monetary Fund and join the European Union. And here she is, being sponsored by Chevron. The sign is right over his shoulder. And in November, Chevron signed a $10 billion deal with Ukraine to frack. Shell just signed one for $11 billion. Then you go and listen to the Victoria Nuland, Jeffrey Pyatt. He is our ambassador to the United States. They picked up, they tapped into their phones, and there they are talking about how to overthrow the Yanukovych government and put in this guy Yats that they got in there now.
I hate to interrupt you, but do you ever make any predictions or trends as far as entertainment? Because I think Lindsay Lohan's...
Entertainment is the biggest opportunity now.
Don't you think Lindsay Lohan's going to get back with that one girl that she dated? And I think Oprah's going to get fat again.
Did they find a plane yet?
Hey, Gerald, we're right up. We have to go, and it's always a pleasure. I mean, let's do this again in the next week or two and talk all about it, man. We can nail it all. Yeah. If people want to find out more about what you do, where should they go?
Okay. TrendsJournal.com, TrendsJournal.com.
Gerald, we appreciate it, man.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Take care. Gerald,
a good listener.